Look, all these women talking about I can never be a pick me, I could never this, I could never cater to a man. I don't know if you guys remember that Destiny's Child song, Cater to You. Basically, if you don't know the song, basically the lyrics were talking about how they would cater to a man, right? Beyonce and the other group of women, Kelly Rowland and stuff, they're talking about how they would cater to a man, obviously sexually attractive. I bet you anything that the dude is probably fit, right? Even though she got married to Jay-Z, that's another story. That's more of a business type of deal, if you ask me. But in any case, those same chicks that got mad at that song, that get mad at other women that are labeled as pick me's. They get mad at them because they show men respect, they show men just basic human decency. Those same type of chicks let a man that is attractive, that's fit, right? Let a man that is fit, that has muscle mass on him, that has a lean physique, a solid physique, that of course, let's not forget this, has a masculine presence as well. Let one of those guys come in the picture and watch how fast they start simping over him. I mean, if you don't believe me, look at these comments on these guys that have fit physiques. Okay, if you guys know a rapper named Dave East, perfect example. Go on his Instagram, Dave East. He's fit. He is one of the few fit rappers. And when he started really getting in the gym, when he started really getting fit, look at his comments section. There's nothing but thirst comments from women, right? Nothing but thirst comments from women, and you best believe that those same chicks would swear up and down that they would never be thirsty for a guy, they would never compliment a guy, they would make a guy work for them. Those chicks, and apart from him obviously being famous, they simp for him. They were in his comments, they were in his DMs. You better believe that guys that are fit, even guys that aren't famous, they experience that too. Obviously, not on the same scale as an NFL athlete or an NBA. Please don't get stupid, right? Please don't write nothing stupid. Oh, but LeBron James or whoever or a so and so football player is gonna get that because he's a football player. Yes, obviously. I'm not talking about superstar status. I'm just talking about a guy who is fit, who is just a regular guy, maybe with a regular 9 to 5. Hell, a lot of guys that get a lot of play work in 9 to 5s, the ones that are fit. If you have ever worked in a place, you ever worked in retail, or if you've ever worked, especially in restaurants, I can literally tell you from experience about the restaurant business. If you're a server, cook, whatever, and you've seen how restaurants operate, if you're a guy in there and you are fit, you are sexually attractive and you're fit, you are going to clean up shop in that workspace. Okay? You're going to clean up shop just based off your physique. Now, of course, personality comes into play. Um, you gotta hold a decent conversation as well. But for the most part, your physique is gonna do the talking. And women will simp for guys that are fit. They will start going up to the guy first. Or if they don't directly go up to him, they're just gonna hang around and hover in his vicinity and just start talking loud, obviously trying to get this guy's attention. They'll stand right next to him and say something random, obviously trying to start a conversation because we know women are passive, right? And if you think, oh, that's just her being friendly, trust me, no, it's not. She's not going to do that to every single person, okay? Now, she might just be a cool type of chick, but in general terms, that's a quote unquote choosing signal that is never really talked about when a woman just gets in your vicinity, gets in your space, and she just starts saying stuff out loud like, "Ooh, man, it's hot. It's hot today." And you obviously know that you have a good physique on you. You're relatively fit. You have a decent amount of muscle mass, right? You look good, best believe when a woman gets in your vicinity and just starts saying random ass shit like, ooh, it's hot, or oh man, goodness, I'm so tired, and man, the weather today, blah blah blah, just random stuff. That is her trying to strike up a combo. She's just passive with it. Men are more straightforward. The way we go up and holler at a chick is, hi, how are you doing? What's your name? Pretty straightforward, pretty direct, pretty caveman, okay? We're very straightforward for the most part. Now, some guy might make a passive comment like, "Oh man, these look good" or something, but even then, pretty direct because he's looking at her and he's directly talking to her, right? But women will do stuff like that. They'll do things like spark up a convo. They'll do things like, hell, they'll even get direct sometimes. They were like, "Oh, okay, how are you doing today?" and stuff like that. And yes, they buy these type of guys presents. They buy these type of guys gifts. You're not gonna see it out and about that much because, of course, a lot of these chicks are gonna try to put up this front. They're gonna try to put up this front like they just they just don't care for men, and I could care less and I'm unbothered and all this bull crap. Behind closed doors, they're getting these guys gifts. They're getting these guys some type of present, and to the average guy, a lot of guys have never experienced a chick even buying them something simple, buying them a shirt, buying them some shoes, some cologne, whatever, except maybe their birthday. But other than that, they've never really experienced that. And, these chicks will simp. They will simp. They don't have a problem because, first of all, there's not that many fit guys. There's not that many guys that are fit to go around. So when they do see a guy that is fit, that it's obvious that he hits the gym. I mean, it's blatant, it's very obvious, looks good. Plus, he has that masculine demeanor about him. Yes, they are going to drop all that bull crap. We've heard this before. We've heard this before about women drop all their quote unquote rules for alphas and stuff like that. It's very real. They'll start doing things that they don't usually do to the average guy. They're gonna compliment this guy on how he looks. They're gonna be like, you look good. They're gonna be touching all over him. They get really touchy feely. They get very physical. If you ever have, like I said, going back to the work thing, you ever have been in a workspace, whether it's a restaurant, office, blah blah blah. Women. That's the way they. That's the way they Me Too guys, right? Contrary to popular belief, guys, it's portrayed that only men do Me Too type of stuff in the office or in a restaurant, whatever. Oh, women do it too. Women for sure do it too. They just get away with it. What they'll do is they'll try to sneak little feels here and there. If they know the guy is fit, they'll try to sneak little feels here and there. They'll try to pretend like they're getting out the way or, trying to move past you or something. And they got a decent amount of space behind you, but they'll grab your whole damn arm and damn near caress you and stuff, talking about some excuse me, or caress your whole damn back, or when they're laughing, they'll be laughing and ha ha, and they'll start patting your back and patting your traps and your arms. This stuff is real. You feel what I'm saying? That stuff is very real. They're not just coincidentally touching you like that, because if you think about it, touching in the workplace is very sensitive, right? It's a very sensitive thing. You don't just randomly start touching a person. I don't care how funny the damn joke was. I don't care how hilarious it was. You're not just gonna, if a chick said it, you're not gonna just be touching her all over her back and caressing her arms and stuff. But this does happen when you're a fit dude and a chick, is kind of thirsting over you. Yes, they are simps for guys that are physically fit. They just do it behind closed doors. They'll blow up a guy's phone. Most simps, when we think of dudes that are simps, we think of a guy who blows up a chick's phone, who's texting good morning all the time and beautifuls and all that crap. Well, guess what? Women do that type of crap for guys that they find sexually attractive, that they find fit. Yes, that is how powerful it is. You guys, a lot of guys don't believe how powerful it is to just simply have a fit physique as a man, because it is just very easy. It's a very physical, very biological thing as far as humans go, as far as mating goes, right? So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Peace.